All right, welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room.
Yeah, don't forget.
Yeah, I know.
The name of the show.
We're just a couple guys with a bunch of wires talking shit. So,
Yep.
what are you guys doing today?
A few guys.
Few guys.
Yeah.
Is it a few guys? Couple
You
guys.
said
yeah.
couple guys.
Trying to resist the urge of performing fellatio on one another.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always on the
It's
back.
not an issue.
That's
for me.
always on Mark's mind.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about.
Yeah, clearly. So, how's your week going? Phil, you look tired.
I'm super tired. I mean, it's early. Yeah. It's early in the week for me.
It's
me to
Tuesday,
be this
dude.
tired.
Get your shit together.
Yeah,
It's
been a
Tuesday
rough
and
day.
you're tired already. So,
I was at the dentist. It turned into like a 3-hour thing.
did you were you put under?
No, I was getting fit for like a replacement tooth.
Oh yeah,
And it
takes a
came in,
while.
it didn't fit. So they had to do another mold.
Yeah.
And then spend half my day there.
And it didn't fit, which sucked. Because
So now
you
it's
gotta
going to be
wait.
3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going there. It's like a job.
Yeah.
I'm there every week.
Did you get the extra strength tooth for chewing durability?
I actually need it. I mean, I've lost a lot of my teeth. I had to pull a lot of them. I mean, I went through a large portion of my life where I didn't have insurance. So
Hey, we didn't talk over that clip because that needs to be a clip.
I've lost a lot of teeth.
Well, I think the begs the question as to how.
I just told you I didn't have.
Is your
So
food,
listen, I avoided the dentist for a while. I didn't have insurance.
is
When
your
you
food-
leave protein too long in between your teeth, it's
There you go,
not
yeah.
good for the.
That's where I thought Mark was going to go. I was trying to
Come
set
on.
Mark up for that because I figured.
I mean, you can
going
get protein multiple places, Mark, not just from rods.
Oh no, I know that. I wasn't even. Is that what you thought I meant by that?
Based on your opening to the show today, I think maybe that's what you were thinking.
All right. Well, we love coming over here.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we like coming here every week, and I think we generally speaking like each other, although today we might test that a little bit.
Maybe.
So why don't we get started, and we're going to do our first segment, and that is pressing issues. Phil, I'm going to let you take this one.
Is it my... Okay. So, I mean, we're 6 weeks.
It's Tuesday, get your shit
6 weeks
together.
into the season. I am heavily exhausted.
Yeah,
But-
you exhausted. You got 1,000 cases.
Yeah.
I got no excuse.
None
Yeah.
So,
whatsoever.
I figured it'd be a good time to talk about who we think is the MVP so far. I mean, like I said, 6 games. We're basically a third of the season through, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think they award trophies for being the best at third of the way through the
I
season.
think-
No, they usually do.
Well, this is Mark's attempt to get back at a guy in one of his leagues that's been talking some trash.
So you're supposed to leave things open to interpretation. It makes it that much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he may not,
What's
I wanna
his name
explain it.
again?
Who cares?
What's his name
Who
again?
cares? I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, D-Gen. Let's just call them all D-Gens because that's what
So, yeah,
Sounds
we're going to talk
about
about the MVP, who we think is the MVP. Not fantasy MVP, just the MVP overall in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right now, we've had, a bunch of guys really do some impressive stuff. A few guys that we didn't expect. So, I think I'll let Rocky start since he's the oldest.
Yeah, thank you.
And
very much.
give us who do you think is
Yeah.
the MVP of the NFL
So
thus far?
I kind of got in trouble last year for talking this gentleman down and trading this gentleman.
I traded him too, and I'm very sad.
I made right that mistake from last year, and I traded for Derrick Henry, and he is my man. He had a couple weeks there where it was a little bit, and then since then he has just torn it apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many points he had this past week, 40, 50 points. It was
He is
crazy.
He beat me this week.
Well, I don't know if you saw that one run where he straight up knocked a guy over. It was poetry.
Even on the he took a loss on one play, but Bill's lineman had a beat on him, sticks the stiff arm right in his chest, and this is a man that looks like he probably outweighs Henry, and Henry just showed like what a strong work ethic does, and just kept him at bay, shoved him down, and he still took like a 2-yard loss on it because the defender slowed him up enough for help to come. but it just showed like that dude is strong as shit and fast.
Yeah.
On that 74-yard run, man. 84-yard run. He's getting to the, he's getting into the second level, and you're like, all right, these guys have an angle on him, and all of a sudden he's 10 yards past him. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like
I
it
think
really
if
makes you appreciate.
If you were going to build a running back,
Oh, for sure.
it would be him. He's 6'4", 240 pounds, who runs a 4 something.
What would
It's crazy.
What attribute would you add to him for the perfect running back?
Better hands, maybe.
I don't know, man. He catches. He's able to catch.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've
been involved in the passing
him.
game.
They don't throw to him as much, but he can catch.
They have this year, though.
They have more.
They've been
yeah.
trying
Giving it
to.
him
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, but he's not a CMC. He's not an Eckler.
No.
Where they build their offense around him in passing. And I don't know why they aren't. That's a question. But anyways, that would be my choice, and I'll pass it on to you
I
guys.
can't really argue with that. What do you think, Mark?
I mean, I have to give credit where credit's due, man. I wasn't expecting Arizona to start the season 6-0, but I mean, this early in the season, 6-0. I mean, they've beaten Minnesota, they've beaten the Rams pretty handily, they've beaten San Fran, they beat America's team, I guess, Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah, and Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville is probably the softest of their wins, but I mean, give it up, man. They're undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Kyler is leading that team unbelievable. His completion percentage is in the mid to high 70s right now.
So your MVP would be Kyler.
It's got to be Kyler at this point. I
That's-
mean,
it's hard to argue against.
yeah, to engineer, being the only undefeated team in the league at this point, having played some pretty stiff competition, I'd go Kyler.
Stiff, soft.
Yeah, the only thing I would
Like
say,
some words you picked there.
the only thing I would
It's
say
been a long
is
week already.
they beat Cleveland, and it had a lot less to do with Kyler than in other
Cleveland beat
games.
themselves.
Yeah,
is
but
what he's saying.
But I can't really argue Kyler. He's a game changer and a difference maker, and he's all that and about this tall.
Yeah.
Like I think he would look up to Phil.
No, it's not
and
true.
Tennessee was their other win. I was trying to think of who their other win was, and they manhandled Tennessee.
I'm a very short man.
That's my point. So is Kyler. All right, Phil. How about yours? Who would you?
I'm going with Action Jackson, man.
Yeah.
I'll say this: with how many people that team is missing, with all of their basically their running game on IR, he's beaten Kansas City. He beat the flavor of the month, Justin Herbert. I didn't think anybody thought they would do that, but he's throwing the ball more accurately, pushing the ball downfield, still doing what he does with his legs. I think they're the best team in the AFC right now, especially after last night, seeing the Bills lose again to a team that they're better than. I think it has to be Jackson.
So
I would say my only counterpoint to Murray would be that I think he's surrounded by a lot more talent than Jackson.
And Lamar is
Yeah.
fair to say.
and they just traded for Zach Ertz, getting even more talent, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that pickup there.
I like Jackson, the football player, and that's what we're talking about. I can't deny that he is a game changer and dangerous on every play. Jackson, the fantasy quarterback, has
okay.
pissed me off this year, and I have him on my team.
That's
and I
fair.
lost my week because he just had nothing.
Well,
Now-
you lost your week because you're a bad GM
Yeah.
and you didn't put together a roster that can win. Let's not blame it. It's not
No,
just
no,
one
no.
player.
No, I made a decision.
It's the
to,
whole team.
Some people may say terrible GM.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can't just point at one player.
I scored the second highest points in our league. My bad decision was going with Lamar Jackson instead of Dak Prescott.
So that was your
It
decision.
was my decision based on the allure, the shiny turd, the shiny fantasy turd that Lamar Jackson can be. Now, he did throw a perfect pass to Hollywood,
Yeah.
who dropped it
There you go.
at the goal line, and then somebody ran it in.
That sounds about right.
Hands Hollywood. If I'm being honest,
It's hard for you
when
to
it
do.
comes to coaching, I think I liken you to Gruden. I think you make great decisions.
How dare you?
Great decisions when it comes
dare
to
you.
Who would you liken Mark to as a coach? I mean,
Adam,
he doesn't show up to the game, so
Adam Gase, 100%.
Adam Gase.
what an
Some-
asshole.
Yeah, somehow he got the job, and you're like, what the? How did he get the job?
He got the job, and he's letting the assistants run the team.
And there's nothing to show for it. Just a terrible record. Yeah, that's what I would.
That is Jeff Fisher, maybe.
How about you? Who would you like in Phil?
Yeah, who would you like as a coach?
Yeah, he looks like a slightly,
we're doing looks. Okay,
slightly tanner Andy Reid.
Okay, that's fair.
But I'd like to be Andy Reid because he's a winner.
Smart. Well, it makes sense.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
You could be Gase.
Yeah.
All right. So I think besides that, what do we? Oh, we're still on pressing issues. I sound like an idiot. All right, I'm sorry about that.
I mean, you wanted to lead this.
No, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm tired.
Okay.
Sorry, Andy.
So MVP. I guess we're not going to come to an agreement on that or consensus.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson. So the next question is, or the first question is, are the Lions a team of destiny? Are they destined to be 0-17?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I mean, the way they've lost,
and the first ever 0-17 team.
and they would be the first ever 0-16 team. They were as well.
No, wasn't it Tampa?
No, it was.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
This is what I'm saying. Are they a team? Are they destined to be the first team to go 0-17? I would say
Do they play Jacksonville?
we probably should look at their schedule, but the way they lost those two games that they should have won with the long field goals, the first team to have that happen in X amount of years, they come out this week and they didn't have the same fight they had the first 5 weeks. I'm not sure they have many games left on their schedule. Do they play the Giants? Do they play the Jets?
Let's see.
Yeah,
Because if they don't,
Well, they do play the Eagles.
I don't think they can beat the Eagles.
They play Cleveland.
They can't beat Cleveland.
They play L.A. Rams,
Is there anybody that have a chance to beat?
Philadelphia, Steelers, Cleveland, Bears.
Loss. Well, the Bears are the only. Honestly, the only. I'm not even trying to put them down.
No,
It's the only game they
there's
could
no
reasonably win.
They also
Chicago
play
already beat them 24-14
They also
In Chicago.
in Chicago.
All right, so there's a chance they can win at home.
They also play Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, and that's really it. They play Arizona, Denver, Minnesota.
All right, so I'm going to say I think they're destined to go on 17. Their team is
I
destined.
don't know. I'd like to give them a little bit of credit, man. I think, they played San Fran. Give them what they're playing with. They played San Fran pretty tough.
Yeah.
Green Bay beat them. They shouldn't have lost to Baltimore. They played Chicago tough. They shouldn't have lost to
Well,
Minnesota.
that's my point.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I think they're a team of destiny. Like, yeah, they should have
I get
won
what
a
you're
couple
saying.
of those games.
You think that it's...
I think it's just meant to be.
Let me ask you a question. Any chance their coach gets fired?
No, I like their coach.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I'm
And in the
saying-
first year they're on demand. Their wide receiver corps is pretty embarrassing. I think the
by
Giants
their
could,
own making.
I think the Giants could probably play with them with the guys they're putting out there right now, and they're down to the bottom half of their wide receiver corps.
Yeah.
And then you got Goff in there who's
So-
kind of on and off. The
So what do
defense
you
doesn't
feel?
look great. They're missing their two top corners.
So you call in for
I think
0-17?
they're a team of destiny. I think they will approach. I think we'll get into the last quarter of this season without them having a win.
It's possible. I mean, if they're going to win, it's going to be within the next couple of weeks. It's going to be Philadelphia. It's going to be Pittsburgh. It's going to be somebody like that. I don't
wants
see
to
them
say-
winning.
I don't think they beat Pittsburgh. I don't even think it's possible.
I don't think at the end of the season. I don't think they're beating Denver. I don't think they're beating Arizona.
I think they're going to
Seattle.
sneak one out because
Maybe
it's
Atlanta.
just always happens. Just
Well, I feel like they had the two games already that they were going to sneak out.
that's fair.
And I mean, they do always play Chicago tough. I mean, those interdivision games are always.
It's
Yeah.
it's
They're
tough
tough.
when
Well,
you get a team they're going to be 0-8
Who do they play
to
on
have them
Thanksgiving?
keep playing hard. They play the Bears.
Bears on Thanksgiving.
That's the game I think they win. Not because it's against the Bears, but because they win on Thanksgiving most times.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't
know
think,
either.
I don't think it's true. I know they're supposed to.
Let me
The
see.
old adage is you always go with Dallas and Detroit on Thanksgiving, but
It's a bad ad.
yeah, I think that's an adage of the past.
How did they get chosen for that?
Because they hate the owners, maybe. It's good exposure for them. I guess why wouldn't they want it?
Yeah, no, I think it's an honor to play.
And I mean, it's been going on forever too. I mean, it's been going on since
No?
the dawn of time.
Another misinformation by me. The Lions are 37, 41, and 2. playing on
They're just
Thanksgiving.
under 500.
Yeah. So the Bears have a chance.
Not terrible. What I'm saying is the further along the season goes without them winning, you got guys to start packing it in. They're not going to play. Like you already started to see it this week. Guys don't want to get hurt. They're out there getting embarrassed. Maybe if you're nicked up, you stay.
Yeah.
You stay hurt a little bit longer.
But then I think at the end of the season, though, then you kind of get that fire in your belly, like, oh,
Yeah,
man,
but who's gonna
I
be out
don't want to
there?
be the 0-17. I don't want to be the first 0-17.
Who are they
team
playing?
ever.
Atlanta would be the only one.
Atlanta's probably the one that they'll get up for. Let's
I mean,
face it. I mean,
seriously, it
Seattle.
should-
so that could be the game of the year.
Either.
That could be the game of the year.
It could be. I just feel, I don't know. I still feel like Jacksonville is going to end up with that first overall pick again and probably select their franchise quarterback next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
about
that sounds stupid. Under the radar game of the year.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Lawrence is. I think they're headed. I think they're going to win 4 games this year.
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Jacksonville.
They play the Texans again, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have looked better than people want to admit.
Lawrence is looking. Yeah. The
And
Urban Meyer
Lawrence
thing
is getting better.
Sorry for talking over you.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Who's getting
Sorry
better?
about that.
Urban Meyer?
No,
You just
Trevor,
No.
Trevor Lawrence is getting better.
He has issues with
Everything.
Yeah.
Urban-
So Urban. I'm saying the Urban Meyer thing is distracted, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, but then they won the game,
Yeah.
so he should go out and
Hey, should go finger bang more. Is that what you wanted to say?
No, I don't want to say that.
Okay, I
In
said
fact,
it.
I wouldn't. I don't think I ever would.
You should put that picture up.
I don't think I would ever say that.
I think that's what he was doing, though.
All
He wasn't digging for gold.
right. Next topic.
All right. So, what's the biggest surprise of the fantasy year? Well, no, NFL. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's do that again. What's the biggest surprise of the NFL this year? I will say
It's a lovely accent.
it is the Kansas City Chiefs being terrible.
Yeah.
I
Is
think
it?
they're terrible. I think they're a terrible team with a few playmakers on offense right now.
I do believe I may have predicted this slightly in the beginning of the season.
Oh boy.
I think it's just I don't think that Kansas City has done enough to get better. I think they've tried to maybe change some pieces of the puzzle, offensive line and such, to see if the new combination works. But while they're doing this, it's allowing the rest of the NFL to catch up, right? Eventually, you're going to kind of figure out Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's taken seasons, let's face it, and nobody throws the ball like Patrick Mahomes. Nobody creates plays on the fly like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's hands down one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in the league, right?
Yeah.
We have to give it to him. Playmaking ability, probably the best, right? But you're allowing teams like Buffalo, right, who's got a great quarterback, who's gotten better offensively. They've had their defenses. I thought their defense was going to play a little bit better this year, but you have teams like that were already close, now starting to figure these guys out. And I think it was just a matter of time. KC can't stay on top for forever, right?
It sounds weird that you're saying this after a week that they just had where Mahomes looked magical and actually had another little flip pass for a long game to Kelsey.
It was against Washington.
Yeah, but Washington's defense was supposed to be great.
Yeah, but Washington defense is the worst in the league statistically. And I'll say this: I don't think the offense has been a problem.
Yes.
But Mahomes, the carelessness of the offense has been a problem.
Yeah, the careless miss.
Inopportune turnovers. They've scored. Okay,
because even in the win, he threw 3 picks.
But when they're playing
Which
good
is
teams,
super uncharacteristic
it's
of
starting to come because, like he said, I don't know if it's so much they're figuring him out, but I've listened to a few guys that break down quarterbacks, and it's the same thing that kind of happened with Rodgers a few years ago. With his mechanics are not very sound, so he makes up for it with the amazing arm. But it's not. The clock strikes 12 at certain points. You're not always going to be able to make that throw across your body from one hash mark to the other.
Well, and I think that's what Mahomes, like to me, the crossroads they're at is if Mahomes can learn to play within himself,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be just fine. And specifically in their conference. Because, okay, the Chargers, maybe you make an argument that they're better.
I think the Ravens are better right now.
Yeah. No, I like to.
And the
So maybe I
Bills. And
should
the
say
Bills.
maybe I should say their division.
Okay.
So the Chargers are maybe you can say they're better. Maybe. Who else?
I think the Raiders could beat them in Vegas.
But they didn't, right?
No, they haven't played. They haven't played the Raiders.
They haven't
yet.
played the Raiders yet. They lost to the Ravens
They lost to the Ravens
and they lost to the Bills.
and the Chargers.
Okay,
Which, I mean, we're talking about
But
all
that's what we're
playoff bound
talking
teams.
about, though.
But, again, they did not beat Cleveland decisively, right?
No, Cleveland should have won. That was another game Cleveland gave away.
Cleveland probably should have won that game, right? So now we're talking about them being 2-4.
Probably they should have.
And they came into the year the prohibitive favorites to go to the Super Bowl. So
Okay, yeah, it's hard to argue with.
You know, it is. And a game like Philly, they should have trounced Philly 42-13. I mean, 42-30. So not how I think Kansas City should have beaten Philadelphia, because I think Kansas City should have probably clobbered them. But then being down, right, being 2-3, they showed up, right? They did show up against Washington, and they throttled Washington 31-13.
Okay,
yeah, all right. And we spent a long time on that, so we got
we're spending a long time.
to
on lots of
tighten this up on Arizona. So Arizona, that's who you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a little shocked, right, that they're 6-0 at this point.
You got to be shocked,
especially given who they've beaten.
Well, and prior to the season, they were being picked last
in
their division. That's the crazy thing to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, they looked like, I don't know. I mean, they looked good last year on offense. They look good, even better, and they look great on defense too.
Yeah, and they handled Tennessee. Yeah. They handled
destroyed
the Rams. They handled Cleveland.
Yep.
They beat San Fran. They beat Jacksonville. They should have probably beaten Jacksonville by a bigger margin than 12. And then they eked one out against Minnesota, 34-33.
Yeah.
But I mean, give credit where credit's due, man. They're playing good ball, and to start that season against those opponents, it's 4 opponents that you potentially could have lost to.
Yeah,
maybe
nobody
even 5.
thought Arizona was going to be leading that division with Seattle in the basement.
I got no argument there.
Yeah.
No
All
argument.
right, and what do you got
for
a surprise?
So the surprise that I would say is the surprise, I think, and this works both in football and fantasy, is I'm tired of CMC.
I'm tired of Saquon too. But yeah, again.
Well, yeah. Saquon's got to hurt his ankle in a it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
and then CMC goes out. And do we really know, like, how long? Like, I mean, they're not IRing him, but
it was funny.
They finally did this past week.
Him.
They IR'd him.
So now it's 3 weeks at least.
Yeah, see, this is what's funny about the thing is that he practiced the next week. He was going to play.
Yeah,
he got sad. Then he came back and practiced the last Wednesday, and then they put him on IR Saturday.
So this is what I will say. He'll come back, and he'll look great when he comes back. I don't know that he's the number 1 pick next year.
I don't think so either.
He can be.
Yeah, it's just too many. It's too many touches too early in his career, and he's starting to break down.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a guy who's getting 30-some touches a game.
I heard a stat today that since he came in the league, he has more touches than any other running back in the league. That's including missing the 15 games.
Yeah,
I would honestly believe that stat. I mean, it sounds far-fetched, but I could believe it.
It's pretty crazy.
So it's sad to me because I think he could have been a Hall of Fame guy. And
he still can.
He still could. But, boy, they're going to have to adjust his usage, and they're going to have to ease up on the guy. Yeah. They're going to have to. And it must be really hard to, because no one's done it yet.
He's one of the few white running backs left in the league.
So what does that mean?
It's a shame. I like to see diversity.
Is he the only one?
He might be the only white runner. I mean, Burkhead's still out there somewhere, right?
I think he's a free
I mean, you
agent.
thought Eckler was white.
I did. Listen, Austin Eckler is a frat boy name. I just thought for sure.
So you're saying black guys can't be frat boys?
No, they can be, of course, but it just sounded like
it
just sounded like a white frat boy name.
Okay.
It just did. So
I don't know what that means.
Doing white running backs proud since the retirement of Mike Allstott.
So on to the next section before I get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
Ass of the week.
That guy's an asshole.
I can't get over that cut.
Yeah, it's a great cut.
It's a really good cut.
It's a great cut for so many reasons.
It's very MTV circa 1996.
Yes, it is.
It is definitely a throwback.
Right in your wheelhouse.
The voice talent of that guy it's astounding.
I mean, and the guy is a face made for radio for sure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't fielded calls already for voiceover work.
Maybe he
quite
has.
honestly.
He's just not telling us.
Yeah, he seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So, who wants to lead us into who our ass of the week is? I'm going to let you, Phil.
Oh yeah, our ass of the week. Oh, you know what? You brought it up.
Yeah, you brought it up. So
Yeah.
let's let Mark do it.
All right, so it's not strictly football here. It's got to be Ben Simmons, man. Like, what the hell is going on here? What is going on in Philadelphia with this dude? Here's a guy that's got immense talent.
All right, Chris Collinsworth.
Can't hit a goddamn 3-pointer, right?
Yeah.
He's Mr. Triple Double when he wants to be. He looks apathetic. He looks like fucking Jay Cutler on the basketball court at times. You know what I mean?
And Jay Cutler had a cannon though.
With that,
He doesn't have a cannon.
Yeah, Jay Cutler would be good from downtown, guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, look how stupid he looks, right? I mean, he looks pretty damn dumb.
He's
right?
pretty yeah.
Yeah.
So demands a trade, says that he'll never go back. Right? The team's like, all right, whatever. Team brings him back. He comes back to practice.
Well, they didn't bring him back, but
Well, I mean,
Well,
they
I think
also
they're
didn't
forcing-
trade him.
well,
Yeah, they're
they
forcing
didn't-
his hand for sure.
Yeah.
If he's not killing his tradability right now, I don't know what the hell he's doing. Because
Well, he's going to get traded.
He's-
what
and he's
version
not
of Ben
killing it.
Simmons are you going to get, and what are you going to give up for him?
Oh, I tell you,
Nobody's going to give up. Well,
I tell you right now, what's going to happen.
they have no leverage, so they're going to get a bag of nickels for him.
Cleveland Cavaliers are going to trade a #1 pick and Colin Sexton to him. Simmons is going to go there and lay a dud.
Yeah.
And Sexton will be the, who knows, MVP of the league. That's what's going to happen. But
So you're trusting the process in Philadelphia then? You're saying that's what this Ben Simmons experiment was all about?
I respect, and I don't say this often, Philadelphia.
I do too.
Because, man, you sign that contract, just play. It'll sort itself out. They'll figure out a trade partner. This isn't helping.
Well, especially for the reasons that he's not playing, which is the coach called him out for not taking a shot, and like the guy passed up a dunk.
Yeah.
In a playoff series, I mean,
Yeah.
they need the guy to shoot, and I think they rightfully called him out. Maybe they could have done it a different way, but it's Doc Rivers. You already got a guy there that they Embiid, who's a legit superstar, and they've kind of curtailed this team and built it around Simmons, and he hasn't put his part in. So I don't think he really has an argument here.
So
Okay.
you think he's a little sensitive then? You think he's being a little
I
sensitive?
think he's a
the
little
critique?
little Mr. Softy.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit sensitive, but I do think he'll get traded because
Oh, he will.
I don't know that his behavior is any worse than Harden's was before his trade.
No, I think any team that gets him is going
Right.
to look at him like
That's a fair point.
they're looking at him like he just doesn't want to be there,
I mean,
and they're going to get him for a bag of nickels.
Harden ballooned like 30 pounds
Yeah.
just to show how little we
He
cared.
definitely gained weight.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to get a bag. And I think there's some team, and I'm again saying it's probably going to be my Cavs, that's going to be suckered into.
But
trading
what you're
for
not going to see is they were trying to project trade destinations, and you heard his name like being him in a pick for like Dame Lillard and stuff like that. You heard
That's
him
not
being
gonna
traded
happen.
for big names. That shit is not going to happen at all.
The issue is, where does he want to go?
I don't know.
One
Doesn't really
place.
matter.
But he wants to go to, and I don't remember the city, although I'm thinking it's the Knicks. Is
No.
the city he said he wanted to go to.
I doubt that. He's too soft for New York.
Yeah, he wouldn't make it in
but
here.
what you are and what you think you are is very different.
Yeah, no, I heard it was somewhere else. But either way, I think he'll get traded. I don't think it will be for much because teams know, especially they suspended him today, kicked him out of practice. I mean,
Yeah.
they know they have no choice but to get rid of the guy. They're not going to give up a lot. I think people play chicken with the Sixers until they move him.
Somebody needs to call his mother. That's what somebody.
Maybe you should. Do you know her?
Well, Urban.
He went to school around here.
Yeah, I don't know his mom.
Okay.
But I do believe she's probably a pretty woman, so I probably wouldn't mind.
I don't know what
calling
that's
her.
about.
Well, I mean, he's a good-looking guy. I can't say he's an ugly guy. So
I think Mark just said he is, but Mark thinks everybody's ugly.
yeah. All right. So, Mark, why don't you lead us get us away from the?
Yes.
That's a lovely accent you have.
Oh, that was a
God,
major.
you're so
screw.
bad at this.
Don't you have them written down?
Well, so I set up because I wanted to use up.
All right, you want to play it now?
No, I don't want to play it because it'll
Okay.
take me.
How
long.
you can't read something 3 feet from you?
know, Mark, you
got those
with
Coke bottle glasses
that
on.
thick.
You know, Mark, you can do this anytime you want. All right, Mark, I'm going to let you get me out of this trouble, and lead us right into our next section, which is the fantasy waiver wire.
You're always in trouble, man. You're always getting yourself into trouble.
No, I am.
Catch me outside. How about that?
So,
How about that?
Mark, why don't you tell us who we should pick up? What?
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
And that's who we got left that we're picking up. Go ahead.
And I was going to highlight that right there. I mean, all right, so we're getting into it, right? It's week 7. We're getting into that. We're getting into the second third of the season here. Who is left on the waiver wire, man? You're not. It's slim pickings.
Unless you're in a terrible league.
Yeah, if you're in a terrible league or a league that has short benches, right? Then you're gonna have surprise pickups everywhere. But I mean, just to quickly highlight a couple of dudes that you might want to consider going after. Cleveland's backfield is a disaster this week, so if you need a quick plug and play, Dearness Johnson might be your guy. Ramondre Stevenson, if he's still on your waiver wire in bigger leagues, he's probably not. Some smaller bench leagues, he probably is. Go out and get Stevenson. There's a small possibility that Kenyon Drake has been dropped in some leagues because of his shit performances the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But now with Gruden out of town, they might start using Drake.
They seem to be using him more last week.
Well, I mean, it seems to be a no-brainer, right? Yeah. Like they paid all this money for this guy. Why the hell would they not use him, right?
Yeah.
So now that Gruden's out of town, maybe.
I wonder
Drake
if that's why
comes back
Gruden
on.
got fired. I'm sorry, I'm just joking. No.
It could be. You never know.
reason.
To highlight a couple more running backs, J.D. McKissick might not be there, but if he is, you're going to get a steal. Devontae Freeman led that backfield even with Lamar last weekend with rushing yards. He scored a touchdown.
And he looked pretty good, actually.
Yeah. That was crazy. It was Freeman, Bell, and who was the other one that they picked up? All three of them.
Latavius Murray.
Yeah, Murray. They all three of them ended up scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, senior citizens.
Yeah.
And Williams,
It's
who
like
we
the
thought was gonna be the
2014
running
Pro
back.
Bowl.
Yeah, and we thought Williams was going to be there.
Oh, he's in the doghouse. He's
Yeah.
way down the roster there.
Yeah, who's so high on him?
Was it me?
I think so.
Might have been. To be fair, I was a little high on him too.
Yeah, I don't remember.
A guy that I've been rolling the dice with him. You might want to, you might not, but leagues where you have deeper benches, Rashad Penny, he might not be that bad a flyer to try here. I mean, there's a reason why this guy has stuck around for 5 seasons in Seattle despite all the injuries, right?
That's fair.
So you have Chris Carson. They're saying that injury is a lot worse than it is. They just IR'd him this past week. Alex Collins looks good, but, I mean, nobody there seems to be the dude, so maybe they try
nobody
to
can
factor.
take the whole load, I don't think. So, yeah. And they're going to have to run because they can't throw.
That means you get.
You like guys that can take the whole load. We know. Couple quick wide receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was the most targeted wide receiver in Detroit. You got T.Y. Hilton coming back off an injury. Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Best name in football.
4 catches, 100 and some yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And if you need yourself a tight end, Mr. Pat Freiermuth looks like he's taking over the reins there in old Pittsburgh.
Yep. And if you're in a really desperate, deep league,
Oh, no, don't do it.
Dimitri Felton.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'm telling you, of the
I
Browns.
thought you were going to say Case Keenum.
No, I was not. Okay. But this is almost as bad. He is a big play type guy. He's been only on the field for about 5% of the snaps. Has scored 3 touchdowns already. So he does a lot with a little. And if you're desperate. And
Sounds like you. Sorry.
And I am desperate for running back in your league. So
Nothing screams desperation more than picking up a running back that is present for 5% of the offensive plays.
He does a lot with a little.
But he makes them count. So,
Good Lord.
anyways.
All right, so that's it. That wraps up the waivers. It's
Thank
slim
you for
pickings,
keeping that
man.
short and sweet, man.
Was that short?
It was sweet.
Shortish.
It was shortish.
All right. And Phil, I'm going to let you lead us into our next section.
What's our next section? Are we going
It's your
to
favorite
imposters?
section. Yeah.
Oh, we got a special imposters this week, guy. Let me find my little sound here.
Oh, he's not ready.
No, I
See,
wasn't
cut
ready.
me down, or-
No, it's all right. That's good. It's organic.
Hey, was it?
Imposters. So here's a special edition this week, guys. We're talking to food. I mean, it's probably our favorite subject. My second favorite.
Definitely my first.
It's your first.
Did I say that out loud?
Said that first, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the first because it's the only one I control. You know, I get to.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
I get to decide.
Do
when I
you
wanna eat.
control it, though?
Not lately, man. I can't even enjoy.
He
things
thinks he
anymore.
controls it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So,
Okay, so imposters. I think we're starting off with
special
pretty
food addiction. Food-
pretty highly contested battle here between.
Well, what do all these foods have in common?
They're bad for you.
Well, yeah, but aren't they also maybe foods you might eat at a certain place?
Well, they're foods you eat when you're watching a sport. So tailgating,
There you go.
being a slob in your house on a Sunday.
There you go. So
Yeah.
what's our first? The first.
Our
battle?
first one is hot dogs versus a good old American cheeseburger.
Yeah. Gosh.
What say you, sir?
I say I think it moved. Just looking at
The
that
hot
picture.
dog?
A hot dog moved. Yeah. So how are we going to do this? Are we going to pick which one we like and which one we think is the imposter?
Yeah, make your argument, and then the other one is the imposter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm torn. I am rip torn.
I'm pretty torn myself.
I'm not.
I like a cheeseburger. I love a cheeseburger.
You've got a definitive answer. Go for it.
It's the burger. I mean, listen.
I'm with you.
I don't know what's in most hot dogs. I don't want to
You
know
don't
what's
need
in
to know.
most hot dogs.
Don't worry about it.
We have a good relationship. I keep it, somewhat. I don't want to know, but I'll eat you.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah.
I always, like several times a week,
Yes.
I crave a good cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Several times a week.
The
And
cheeseburger's great.
yeah, and so much variety of what you
Sure
can
is.
put on it. So much variety if it's greasy, thick, or thin. It's perfect.
Well,
It's almost
it's
the perfect
everything
food.
for you, huh?
Yeah, there you go. It hits every pleasure button.
Well, what I'll say is that I'm with you on the burger. I'm a big burger guy, big time burger guy.
Yeah.
All right, no secret. The thing that's holding me back though is the dog. I love the toppings on the dog. I like a little, onion.
That's where it's at with the hot
No, I
dog.
like the onion, the red, the red onions. You know what I'm talking about? And the
Yeah,
sauce,
Hell yeah.
some sauerkraut, some spicy mustard. Oh, baby!
Have you ever had? Have you ever had Burtman's mustard?
I have had Burtman's mustard.
Yeah,
Bourbon's is good mustard.
I'm a big
Yes.
mustard guy.
that's the
Got like
official
6 different mustards in my
Cleveland Indians.
See, I know you guys are going to disagree with these toppings, but
Mayonnaise?
some
You doing some Lincoln Logs?
some chopped onions, man, some spicy mustard,
Oh yeah, you talking
and a
about
nice
Chicago?
glob of coleslaw, dude. Coleslaw
my
on a
God.
dog, fantastic. Now you mentioned you don't know what you're getting in a hot dog, but at least you consistently don't know what you're getting in a hot dog. For me, the burger, man, there's too many goddamn choices. Is it a turkey burger? Is it a brisket burger?
Yeah, but you know what it is, though,
Half
when you
chuck?
buy it.
Is it? Do you? I
Yeah,
don't
'cause,
know,
yeah,
man.
it
I mean,
would
I
be a
see the
turkey
package
burger.
says it. I don't know what the hell it is.
I don't think it's the same.
Open
I-
and shut.
I think it's a weak argument.
Yeah.
I like.
But we don't have a winner.
I like the dog, man.
because I was the only one that was definitive.
No, I think I'm going burgers.
All right.
Are you on burgers?
Yeah, I'm going burgers.
Burgers won. That was white, but so was what Mike said. So
A dog
Mike
on those
Mark.
on those. New England-
Mike.
I did.
I mean, I've only been here a year. Goddamn it!
I gave you a whiter name. All right. So what's the next?
All right, so the next one. What's the sound that I'm playing again? Imposter sound. Blue cheese or ranch? Drake say
This is easy.
no to ranch, yes to blue cheese. Now, are we talking about for wings?
It don't matter what you're
Or are we
talking
talking about just in general across the board?
Just
Yeah,
to
see,
grab a
that's-
bottle and drink it. Which one are you drinking?
Yeah. Well, so I think in this scenario,
What's the scenario?
and I don't know if you noticed, but I
Yeah,
involuntarily
you're getting wet in the mouth.
I'm getting a little bit.
You gotta take it easy.
I think we have to say it
Just do it!
with the wings. With the wings.
With
Because-
wings?
Yeah, with the wings.
Like bone-in wings.
yeah.
I go
It changes
blue
for you
cheese. Yeah,
if it's
that's-
boneless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blue cheese with wings, blue cheese. 100%.
Blue cheese all the way. Whether it's a salad, whether it's wings, whether it's dipping my pizza in it.
You put it in your cereal too?
You know
Or
what?
you go male?
I haven't tried it, but shit.
You look like that guy who goes blue cheese all the time. But for
Dude.
me, ranch is just too much of a perfect, like it goes with everything.
It goes with
else.
everything for me.
So I make a blue cheese guac. That is the best guac
I
you'll
will
ever
not
eat in
eat
your
it.
life.
I won't touch it.
All right.
Dude, it's
so
unbelievable.
I think
Sounds
we won
disgusting.
again. I think it's blue cheese. We won.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we all
That was definitive.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Our next one is going to be, this is a Mark special.
Oh, yeah, this is
Potato salad and coleslaw. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm just going to take myself out of the conversation because I don't like either very much. But I will throw some coleslaw that I won't put mayonnaise in it. I put like a nice
like nice vinegar.
like a
base.
red wine
vinaigrette,
vinegar,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that, and put it on a pulled pork sandwich, something like that. I could rock with the coleslaw. Potato salad, I've not eaten a spoon of it my entire life, and I won't.
That's a shame.
So
Yeah.
it might be.
Our
but-
sponsor, Black Bear Kitchen, has a great Vidalia onion.
That's the one. Yeah, I'd make one like that.
That's fantastic. Coleslaw. So coleslaw.
Yeah,
But
well, coleslaw is very. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to make coleslaw, man.
and at a tailgate, my winner, coleslaw. Here's why: I can put it on a burger.
Yeah.
I can put it on hot dog. It's less about the coleslaw and more about the crunch.
The versatility as well.
It is very versatile.
So I'm going coleslaw.
But a good potato salad pairs fantastic with a burger, with a dog, with anything. A potato salad where the star player is bacon.
But can you call it potato salad if you had bacon, or is it
You
just bacon salad?
absolutely
Why don't you
can.
just subtract the potatoes and just do the bacon?
And I'm Irish, so I'm partial. So I'm going potato salad 100%.
All right.
With or
And-
without the bacon. How
and
about
I
that?
think we won though. So
Well, we don't really have, but you did say it kind of went to coleslaw.
no coleslaw definitively.
All right, what's the
Yeah.
next one you got here?
I think the next one is pizza versus wings, and this was a big one, boys.
Yeah,
I'm going to lose sleep over this one.
yeah, I'm not.
This is bullshit.
This is pizza.
These two should not be paired together.
I'm definitive on this one again.
I'm pizza.
I wrap
pizza.
wings in my pizza.
Listen,
No.
when God makes food, it's Italian.
He does it a lot.
It's Italian, and it's pizza.
He did make Italian bread for the people, right?
Yeah, I
You
don't-
put me up north, pizza 100%. Down here, I don't know, man. It's a little bit closer.
It's
But
still pizza.
personally, I love pizza.
it's unanimous.
I don't want to just have to call wings
Pizza,
an
okay.
imposter.
And a
So,
landslide.
Did you guys watch that little clip I sent you guys from our friends at Barstool about Hoboken, New Jersey?
Yeah.
You didn't watch it. It was all about he was testing a pizza place in
Oh
Hoboken.
yeah, I watch them.
Yeah,
I mean, I've watched all of those. Yeah,
All
I've
right.
eaten at all those places.
And that slice of Sicilian looked ridiculous.
Which one? The Tornus?
Huh? I think so. The
I've
one,
been eating there since I was like 5.
you
the
gotta
one where they
ask-
put the fresh mozz on it before they throw it back in the oven.
And then you got to ask for extra sauce.
I literally, I've, like my whole life I've eaten like
Yeah, I'll say this.
lunchtime. you
I
get
can
that for
believe
lunch.
it.
I
I
talked
wasn't
to
fat back then.
I talked to a guy who I talked to a guy the other day. It was a weird scenario. We had a Chick-fil-A. We had
Tell
to
me
call.
more about it. What was going on?
We had to call the police.
Okay.
And so the two officers were from New York. One was from Brooklyn. And so the other one had this really accent. It sounded a little bit off. A little bit off. So he wasn't from New York. He was from New Jersey. And so I said, let me ask you a question. I got a couple friends, and they make Hoboken. And the moment I said Hoboken, nipples erect, eyes went up. Oh, he's from Hoboken.
Oh, cool.
And he said, it's the best city because you can get in trouble because you can catch the boat in or catch the train in and be in Manhattan in a second.
true.
And he just went on, and I was like, calm down. Like
Yeah,
it was
keep
like
it in your pants.
It was like Phil. It was like talking to a Pasquale. So I told him, I said, they have been trying to get me to go to Hoboken. And then I said, they wanted me to go for Eli's retire.
Oh yeah.
And then he goes, Eli.
Did you give him my number?
I need to because you might need him. His name was
Yeah.
Aponte, Officer Aponte.
I know an Aponte. I
Yeah,
know
we
the Aponte
do.
family. Where's he from?
Uh,
I mean, around here. Where's he from?
we didn't
What's
get
he
that
look
far.
like? I'm
He's
joking.
shaved.
Just
No?
a joke. Yeah.
But he
Single?
literally put his hand over his heart when I mentioned Eli. And
I
said-
need this guy's number.
Yeah, no, I was like, this guy's a loser just like Phil.
Okay. All right. So we're definitive pizza wings. Okay.
Pizza.
Let's move on to the next one. This is real weak. So we'll go through this quick. Chips versus pretzels.
Yeah.
I like a pretzel, dude, but I mean, chips is just so much variety. I don't even know how you consider a pretzel.
I'll tell you how you consider a pretzel. When you're sitting on a couch and there's no accompaniment and you just want to snack on a bag of something, I'm not grabbing chips to just snack on. I'll eat chips till the cows come home with my sandwiches, but I'll grab myself some honey mustard and onion pretzel.
And
You
I-
sound like a
from
freaking alien.
Snyder's.
People don't snack on chips. It's the number one snack.
Yeah, Trisha.
No, I'm saying I'm not grabbing a bag by itself. And just, I'm not,
If my
not
wife
with-
were here, she'd smack you because she always goes chips. But I'm saying
Really?
you're both wrong.
Well, you can't.
I'm
you're breaking
introducing
the rules.
Cheetos,
No, you
crunchy Cheetos.
Do
I
that
think Cheetos. I think they
Crunchy
qualify as a
Cheetos.
chip.
Okay, then.
I
No,
think there's
if
a
you
chip
put
family.
chips up, if you put Cheetos up there, I'm going Cheetos.
I think
100%
Cheetos
of the
is a
time.
chip.
It's
All right,
not a
so
chip.
what is it?
It's a corn puff.
Which is a chip.
No, it's not. Chips are made from potatoes.
Fritos, are they a chip?
Fritos.
Yeah.
They're Frito.
Are they a chip?
They're
Yeah,
Frito.
Yeah, they're made from corn.
But it's not a corn puff.
It's
There's
all
a
right, but
difference.
it's still a fucking chip.
No, the chip is the fucking shape
So
of
because
it.
it's puffy, it's not a chip?
Exactly.
Doritos 3D, they're puffy.
But we
They're
all,
not chips.
Yes, they are.
They're Doritos 3D.
but we all agree that
And they're
Cheetos
disgusting.
is the clear winner.
I'm not big on Cheeto. I'm not a big Cheeto guy.
Oh, geez. There we go.
I
lost
like
all
Doritos
respect.
better than the Cheeto all
All
day.
right. Lead us
All
into
right,
the
our last one is going to be claws or any seltzer beverage
Looks like Mark, kind of like
versus
veering.
beers.
Looks like Mark veering.
That's what Mark drinks. Busch Light.
It does kind of look like.
Bush. Is that a Bush Latte? It's what it says.
The Busch Latte?
Yeah, it does.
No, they're getting creative.
Yeah, maybe they didn't want to get sued. Does the White
So what do you?
Claws-
I think to me it's a situational thing. But if
Yeah.
we're talking sports, I'm going beer. We're on
Yeah.
beer all day.
It wouldn't be Bush, but I'd go beer. But
I don't mind Busch.
if I'm watching my weight at all,
What about
which
you?
is it always White Claw.
I'm going champion of beer, man. The best value in beer. Going with Foster's oil cans, brother.
Foster's Australian for beer.
Foster's bottled in Canada for
Stupidly,
beer.
I thought it was a high class beer, and then
It's
you
not
guys-
a high class beer.
You
It's a
guys
low.
told me different.
It's not low class. I'm not gonna
No,
say
it's
that.
middle of the road.
It's not middle of the road.
It's
either.
middle of the road.
It's not middle of the road.
It's at least
If you
$7
could buy
more
a
for a 20
powder,
pack.
a 20 pack. If you buy a powder keg of it for under $3, I think it's not a higher class.
It's no. People just realize how much you enjoy the beer. That you don't want one regular size beer isn't going to fill you up on a beer that delicious.
Mark.
You want to keep drinking.
really
it.
not that good,
So,
though.
Mark,
Oil can.
I've seen you drink 6 Fosters.
Yeah,
So
I think
that
it's 7.
argument,
We keep saying 6. There's,
I had- there was 7, yeah.
brought
Seven.
6. I brought 6. I drank 3.
Allegedly.
Sons
I don't remember any leaving, and I do remember
Yeah,
Lewis.
where are they here?
Wait,
where are they?
I do remember Lewis, switching from straight bourbon to Foster's at one point.
Not
but-
by choice. It's because the straight bourbon was gone.
So we're all in agreement. It's beer, and White Claw's only allowed if you're watching your weight or trying to keep your figure.
I
Or
go
if
White
you're-
Claws at the beach.
Or you're forced to watch The Bachelor.
When you're sitting in the
guys
sun,
are-
sitting in the sun, 95 degrees all day, you don't want to be pounding IPAs.
All right,
This,
here we go.
this is true.
All right, so let's go to our next section. We're going to talk about the 5 games and the fantasy implications. And these are 5 games that we are interested in. And I'm going to let Mark lead it. And Mark, let's start with the Jets versus New England.
Yeah, I like these games only because they're not highlighting your studs, right? So we're trying to get creative here. Who we think can put some points on the board? Jets at New England. New England looked pretty good last week, right? I believe
They did. And the Jets looked good
not
the
too
week
bad.
before.
New England played who was it? Dallas tough, right? And yeah, the Jets didn't look too bad the week before.
I think that was their first victory, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think everyone's still waiting for Elijah Moore to break out. It's not happening.
Yeah. But Zach Wilson is beginning to look more and more like a competent starter, not a stud.
He
but-
makes a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
But in the fantasy world, he's one of those, he's your definite boomer bust type of dude. I think he could put up big numbers.
Yeah.
Going up against New England, probably unlikely. I'm a little bit more interested in playing some New England guys against New York. I'm getting Damian Harris in there. I'm possibly getting Ramondre Stevenson in there if we're into the bye weeks now, so chances are you're going to have to start hitting your bench. So if I have Ramondre on my bench and I have to replace him, I'm not going to think twice about sticking him in there. I think Hunter Henry's really emerged as a pass catching threat there in New England as well, which we've been waiting for. Who's going to come out of the duo there between him and Jonnu, and I think it's Hunter. So a couple of guys that I like in this game. I do like Hunter Henry, and I do like the backs in New England.
So what about wide receivers? Because, Jacoby looked pretty good, had a lot of receptions, but Kendrick was the touchdown.
Yeah, and he's the guy that takes the lid off, right? He takes the top off the defense. And
So are there any that you feel comfortable starting?
No.
I'm
Maybe Jacoby Myers in a pinch for
not,
me.
just based on volume.
That would be me. If you're going to start one, Jacoby's probably getting targeted 10 times a game.
Well, he had 6 last week, but Bourne had 2, which still kind of concerns me in a game where they put up almost 30 points.
Right. But
and went into
Jacoby-
overtime.
But Jacoby had how many targets?
6.
6 targets.
Yeah.
Okay, and he caught
5. So he's efficient, but I mean,
Yeah.
they were 8.8 yards average. Bourne had the one big catch, only 2 targets.
right. That was it. He had one long catch.
And Aguilar has been a disappointment, man. And you know what? I think until we see Belichick open up the playbook with Jones, I think it's kind of a wait and see thing with Aguilar because he's their downfield guy. I think even more so than Bourne. But as far as the Jets, I mean,
I'm starting Michael Carter.
I'm starting Corey Davis too. Yeah. I still think he gets enough target share where you could legitimately start him in your flex.
He's thrown up some shit games though, man.
He has, but it's been
scary.
growing pains with a quarterback. I mean, if you spent decent draft capital on him, I still think you could plug him in because he has had good weeks.
Well, and again, especially because this week you've got the Buffalo Bills, Dallas Cowboys, Jacksonville, the Chargers, the Vikings. All of them are on bye. So, like you said, you might be getting hit. This week, I'm starting Michael Carter in one of my leagues because I have no better option. But I'm hopeful that the last couple weeks we saw might be an upward trend for him.
And what's scary is that, going against the Patriots, Belichick's going to try to take out your top guys.
Yep.
That's what he does. And Davis, for whatever you want to say about him, I think this year has been probably their top receiver. And maybe Crowder is fighting for that a little bit when he's been healthy. But I think he's the main guy that they're going to want to take out of the game.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So,
how about we go to the next game? Philadelphia versus Vegas. Mark, what do you think about this?
Sound it out.
Well, I think despite all that Gruden shit that went on, I think the Raiders came out and really showed up against Denver. And like we highlighted earlier, man, I think Vegas might start utilizing Kenyon Drake here.
Yeah, it was a pretty shocking, to see how well he looked.
Yeah, and to go up against that Philly defense, I think Kenyon Drake might be the perfect guy to get some work done in that game and score you some fantasy points. On the Vegas side of the ball, I do also like Ruggs. I think Ruggs is turning into a really capable wide receiver. Derek Carr, you got to get Carr into your lineup as well. On the Philly side, it hurts, man. The dude, he'll play like shit for 2 quarters, and that second half, you're getting Hurts trash points all over the place, and before you know it, 27 fantasy points. Last week, I had him on a couple of teams. I think he had 3 points going into halftime, finished the game with 27.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mark. I think he covered the whole game for us. I think we move on to the next game.
Well, let me ask you one question, though. What do you do with the Zach Ertz trade? Does that change your opinion about their tight end?
I feel much better about Goddard.
Well, I do too. I mean, I felt strong about Goddard to begin with.
Yeah.
Injury slowed him down, obviously. But now, if he's back this week from injury, I mean, it's full go on Goddard.
Yeah, and especially because Vegas...
Tournament bass fishing is a tough game, and it's even tougher on today's...
he's a good guy. So
yeah, I don't know I hope you can not remove that out of there because you...
No, I'm going to leave that in there.
Yeah, so,
Tournament bass fishing, huh?
You
guys aren't into that?
No, not at all.
I mean, it's a wonderful sport.
I think that this is the week maybe that the tight end position scores.
We actually have a couple of big Bassmasters tournaments right here local.
Yeah, we do. No, it's
we should get into it. Maybe we can get those guys to sponsor us.
I'm not.
One in
have you met
Kissimmee.
me? I'm not patient enough to fish.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not
You
even
were
patient enough to talk about fishing. I don't think. I'm surprised we got you
I'm going to push back on what you guys said, though, a little bit. Just push back just a little bit. Kenyon Drake last week, I mean, you guys are talking him up like he was incredible. He did score 2 touchdowns. He only had 4 carries and 2 receptions.
Yeah, but they're working him in at the goal line, which I like.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know that me personally, if the workload is that low, unless I'm desperate, I'm going to put him in the game hoping for a touchdown.
No, but
especially when they have a target in Waller, in the middle guy and Renfro. I mean, I think the odds are that he won't score in the red zone more so than they are that he will. And 6 touches in a game. I mean,
I'm telling you, I feel a lot better about him than I did a couple of weeks ago.
That's fair. I still would probably start Jacobs over him though right now based on workload.
Yeah,
I mean 16 carries to 4.
I mean, you have to. I mean, Jacobs is definitely the
and
starting
Jacobs only
running
had
back.
one less target than him.
But I think
for 29 yards.
And Jacobs is still a little bit hurt. So,
well, what does that say if he's still out touching him?
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. They could be somewhat of the Kenyon, using Kenyon could be because of that.
I'll tell you who I am excited about, though, Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs looks good.
Henry Ruggs is really proven to be the receiver that we thought he was going to be last year.
4 targets, right? He caught 3 of them, so that's a big improvement with his efficiency. 32-yard average. The long was 48, so that's still pretty deep balls on the other 2 catches. I mean, 3 for 97.
That's why you got to like Ruggs.
Even if he gives you 1 touchdown and he gives you 3 for 65, I'm happy with that because I'm starting with my flex.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too.
And I think with Drake, I think the new Oakland regime has to kind of peel away some of those scars that Gruden left. I mean, how do you bring a guy in for that amount of money and underutilize him like Gruden did? That's why I think it's just going to trend in the right direction.
Maybe he's just not good, though, because he hasn't been good anywhere.
Why the fuck do people keep paying him a ton of money?
I don't know, but they keep paying him a ton of money and not playing him.
Yeah, but it happens over and over again. People fall in love with the potential, but then, it's like, what do they say when you're a practice stud and then you get on the field and you're not very good? And I feel like...
And it's like Chase Edmonds who can't score. I mean,
yeah. So let's move on to our next game. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the loogie that is the Chicago Bears.
I like that. I like loogie.
Yeah,
loogie.
A throwback.
So who are we starting here?
Yeah, who are we starting here? Let's not talk about Tampa. Let's go with the Bears. Who are you starting on the Bears?
So
the Bears.
I liked what Khalil Herbert did last week. I think he's probably going to get a couple more touches. Even Damian Williams more than likely is coming back unless he has lingering effects from being out with COVID.
So would you start him over?
It depends. So again, we're into like the bye weeks, right? So if I have to fill a flex position, possibly. But I'm going to ride it out, right? I'm going to see what's going on with Damian Williams this week. If I get the inclination that Damian Williams is not going to be utilized that often because he still is a little under the weather, then I'm definitely putting Herbert in my flex position.
Mark, would you start any Chicago Bears wide receiver?
All right, I'm partial, right? Obviously, I'm a Bears fan. I keep waiting.
Trying to destroy them, right?
Stress, dude. It's absolute stress. Because I keep waiting for Allen Robinson to break out, right? And it's not happening. But you know when it is going to happen? When I sit his ass on my bench. Then he's going to blow up against Tampa Bay, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
So you said him this week?
It depends.
I mean, whatever.
Again, it's matchup wise. It's all matchup dependent.
Whatever
Chances
we're
are
saying, it looks like Fields has a better feel for Mooney.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, and it's just like Baker Mayfield and Rashard Higgins. I don't know why, but he can always find him open. So I'm starting to really think people wasted a high pick on Robinson.
Yeah, man. I took you up on your Higgins projection, and I picked him up on one of my teams. That son of a bitch didn't catch a single ball. So you can shove Higgins straight up your
call
ass.
him out of his name.
The what?
Why did you call him a son of a bitch?
Well, I mean, I don't know his mother, but still.
Hey, hopefully he doesn't see this.
You put a dud up there for
I'll give
me.
you his address.
After Rocky gives me his word that Higgins has
I don't think I gave you
super
So
connection.
call Rocky that. Don't call this guy that.
Well, it was directed at both of them.
That's fair. So you say you're beginning to not believe in Robinson. I said it here.
It's tough.
Robinson is
I think Robinson's a great receiver. I just think
He is a great receiver.
he's been stuck in. Look at his career. Where has he played?
Stupid is as stupid does.
I guess right. That's right.
So here's what you're seeing, and 100%.
Let's not get too deep into this, all right?
I won't. But Robinson is seeing double coverage all the time because of the production that this offense had last year, centered around Mitch Trubisky.
He's a number one receiver, and they get double coverage.
No,
so does Devontae Adams. So
Justin Fields can't get the ball to him. That's the issue.
Listen to me. It's horrible quarterback play.
There you go.
Trubisky.
He just said it. He said it. For the record, who's
No.
the quarterback?
Stop.
Who's the quarterback?
I'm talking about
Who's the
Trubisky
quarterback?
right now.
No,
So-
we're talking about this year.
God damn it. Will you let me get to my point?
Who's the quarterback?
So, Robinson is still running the same routes that he was last year because Trubisky couldn't get off of his first read, right? So Robinson is still seeing that double coverage, only Fields gets through his progression.
No, he
so
doesn't.
now he gets off of Robinson and he's on the Mooney, and Mooney's usually single covered.
doesn't
And
get off his
sometimes
first read.
he does, though.
Now, he is
Watch
getting
him go
off
through his projection.
I'm watching him.
progressions.
Do you guys watch all 22?
I break
watch
down
it.
every game, man.
You don't watch all 22.
every game.
There
You
was
don't
a
got the
third.
film.
There was at
Every
least a
game.
third of his plays that he worked into a second or third progression.
I don't
This past
believe.
week.
I don't
Absolutely.
think
All right.
so. You know
so
what? We're gonna go to the tape.
Go to it. You'll see.
We are. Oh, I
what
can't
about
wait.
Tampa? Is this week where you're on look? Everybody, you're starting everybody you got.
No, Chicago's defense is half decent. But I mean, Tampa's offense is a juggernaut, though, right? Yeah. But what you are going to see is you're going to see probably Jalen Johnson, probably shadowing Mike Evans, I would guess.
Yeah, Evans
I don't know about that.
Evans has been quieter this season.
I don't know. I think Antonio Brown's the number one receiver.
I'm not saying that he's not, but Jalen
because-
Johnson usually draws the bigger receiver.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, I think Antonio Brown's been number one because Mike Evans is the guy that most teams are trying to pull away.
Wow, this is a crazy stat.
What's that?
So Brown had 13 targets last week.
Yep.
Evans had 4.
Yeah.
I am trying to trade Brown in a league that I'm trying to build for next year, and I'm shocked at the people don't like him. He's got 30 receptions.
9 for 93 and a touchdown?
Yeah, and the week before that he had 2 touchdowns. He is a producer. I'm starting Brown at this point every week.
I think he's their number 1 wide receiver.
Well, Evans is always going to draw
The double team.
and the big guy. He's going to draw the shadow. Last week it was Darius Slay. This week it's going to be Jalen Johnson.
Well, and there's probably no better receiver. Think about this. Antonio Brown was a number 1 receiver for most of his career. Now they're asking him to do a skill set that he's looking at and saying, come on, this is easy.
Yeah.
And he's getting open, and then he still has that number 1 potential to make a 5 or 10 yard reception into something beautiful.
Yeah.
So, So
And Jalen Johnson last week, I think he did pretty damn well on Devontae. Devontae only caught 4 balls for 89 yards, and 41 of those were on 1 play.
Right.
So, I mean, to shut down probably the best, maybe second best wide receiver in the league like that, that's pretty big news. Now you put him on Evans. I think he's going to shut Evans down. I think the recipient is going to be Brown and probably a little bit of Godwin as well.
And can we, real quick, can we talk about Fournette?
Yeah, I was going to say, what about the running back?
I think he's the number 1 back, too.
And I think he's starting to look like playoff Lenny.
22 carries, 81, 2 rushing touchdowns, but that's great. But the big thing is the 6 receptions for 46. I mean, geez, that's 10 points right there in PPR formats.
It's the first season where I would say that the potential is starting to, he's living up to it.
Yeah, he's looking like he did early in his career.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks good. Okay.
23, man. Yeah, man, he had like 22 more touches than Ronald Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Ronald Jones is a non-factor.
Well, and I say Ronald Jones will be off the team next year, and now what I'm always shocked about is they're not working in Keyshawn Vaughn, just to see what you've got.
So everything I read on Vaughn is that it was pretty much a wasted pick.
Shit, if you got Fournette starting to look like he did in
It's a steal.
LSU, I mean, in his first year with Jacksonville,
It was a steal.
And you go out and you pick up Giovanni Bernard, which is the reason why you drafted Keyshawn Vaughn, was to catch balls. I mean, that tells you a lot.
There you go. All right. So what about and of course we're starting Brady. Yeah. Cincy versus the New York Giants.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah. You want me to just go on the Giants?
Can you start anybody?
I think if Shepard plays...
Hang on.
Go ahead.
That's right.
Is that the wrong... Yeah, it's wrong, right?
Wrong game.
Yeah.
What?
The Giants are playing Carolina.
Okay, so I wrote the wrong...
Oh, you wrote Cincy.
Yeah.
So it's Carolina.
It doesn't matter who they play. It's still,
Yeah, but I
can you
write
start
Cincy.
anybody from the Giants?
Yeah,
yes,
so Carolina.
yes, yes.
It could be the Giants versus the Claremont Knights, and
I
you're like,
think
can
right
you start?
now, the only guy you can start... We got to see if James Toney is back. I think you start James Toney.
He was Darius Tony?
I keep calling him...
I mean, they're nothing alike. Kadarius Toney.
It's just the Tony. All right, so literally, I mean, at home, I call him James Toney. All right, so Kadarius, if Kadarius is back, the guy was in the game for one drive, and he had the most reception, the most yardage on the team. Caught 3 balls on the first drive, goes out when we get in the red zone, then we don't score.
Kadarius Toney looks to be. It looks like they may have gotten
Tyreek Hill.
a game.
He's legit
receiver.
He's legit.
But
and he was
tall.
going up. He's going up against right now the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, but
and made him look silly. The week
His game
before.
reminds me identical. I think he's identical to Tyreek Hill.
But he's 6'2"? Like he's much bigger. Yeah.
But he plays the same way. He's that
he's
hard
explosive,
runner.
bro.
Yeah.
And what here underrated, like watching his film, is he has a great feel. It's kind of like Brown, a great feel for where defenders are when he catches
right.
the ball.
He understands
And
where he is.
He understands his leverage. So his yards after catch, he made a play against Dallas, where he turned what would have been like an 8-yard gain, into almost a touchdown, like a 24-yard gain, and nothing special. Just knowing where the defenders were coming from, and instead of going to the sideline like that, he just turned upfield.
Yeah.
And it's just like little football things. But anyway, yeah. So if he plays, obviously. But I think the more realistic thing is Sterling Shepard. I think you can count on to get high volume, especially if all these guys are hurt. Besides that, if you're in a pinch, maybe you still start Booker if you need a running back. Besides that,
What about Ingram?
no, I don't touch Ingram. I don't touch Rudolph. I don't touch any of the other wideouts besides Galladay or Tony. I think you can still take a stab at Jones. I don't think they should have played him this week, coming off the concussion. But that was a bad game. That was one of those.
I'm going to go on record and say there's no way the guy that I watched stagger off the field against Dallas should have started this game.
I think, and then he shouldn't have played the whole. They made him play to the end of the game. It was bad.
Yeah.
Where were his offensive linemen, too, when he was staggering off the field like that?
Well,
They let him cross half the goddamn field by himself.
I don't want to go on a rant right now about the Giants, but
let's.
yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad, and that's the only thing that would worry me is that they're down. I don't know if Andrew Thompson is going to play. The offensive line might be even worse shape than it's been. So just keep an eye on that if you're looking to start anybody. But Carolina, Robbie Anderson, more guys are dropping. I think between them like 6 balls.
Robbie Anderson looked terrible.
Yeah, he looked really bad
until we caught that touchdown.
Yeah, and Darnold looked bad too, but
Yes.
he came alive late in that game.
Did he look bad? Because here's what it was. He looked bad, but he had 9 drops.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't look bad. The balls that he threw were there, at least most of them.
most of them. Yeah,
Yeah. Darnold has been. I don't know. Darnold is starting to win me over a little bit.
I'm starting Chuba in this game too. I mean, shit, I might even start McCaffrey on IR against the goddamn Giants at this point.
you're not wrong.
I mean,
Yeah, Chuba's not great, but he's an efficient back.
He's
gonna
very
get
efficient.
touches.
not good as Mike Davis.
He more so fills the CMC role than Mike Davis.
Yeah,
did,
but
though.
Mike Davis put up better numbers than he has.
Yeah,
well,
but he's a
Mike Davis
rookie,
was
and
a
he,
pure runner.
I mean, the game is still slowing down for Chuba.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I mean, if we got to choose, I'm just saying he's better.
That's fair. What about? So, are you starting, Robbie? Are you starting more?
I might start. I mean, coming off that,
You
it's
have
hard to.
I'm
I
starting
like
DJ
Robbie.
Moore.
It's
Yeah, you
hard
have
to
to
start
start.
him. You have to start more though.
You got to start more.
Yeah.
You got to start more. If you, I mean, with all the buys, maybe you have to start Darnold. I don't know. It's a good matchup. I'll tell you that.
This might be the game too where Terrence Marshall finally
Terrence Marshall.
is more of a factor in this
Yeah,
offense.
because quietly he's caught the balls thrown to him. He's not dropping them.
Yeah.
He just isn't really getting targeted as much. But he looks solid.
Oh, this is the week though.
Yeah,
Our linebackers are terrible.
I can agree with that. So let's go to the last game we're going to talk about, and this is another talk about injuries with the Giants, and let's talk about the Browns. They have 22 potential players that might not play. And here's it. They got the crap
and
handed
it's
to them.
all voluntarily too.
Yeah,
He
it's,
just refused to play in Cleveland.
They got the crap handed to them against Arizona, and they got to turn around and play in 4 days. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
and here's the thing: is that as good as Stefanski has been, I think there's a little turmoil there in the locker room. With not in the locker room, but in the. I think there's turmoil upstairs. I think they're trying to move some guys. I think things are unsure a little bit. So I mean, you got more of a feel for the team. Do you think they're in a good place as far as the morale of the team?
I think that they should. I think Baker's shoulder. Now it's a non-throwing shoulder.
Well, he re-injured it.
That could be either of his shoulders.
Yeah, it's a re-injured shoulder.
That's actually funny for once.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I chuckled a little bit. Stop. I think honestly he should have been rested the last couple games. He's just it doesn't impact his throw. Necessarily.
a little bit, though.
And that's what it is. Either in the back of his mind, or there's something, or I think what's affecting him is that they're making him wear that sling.
That too.
And I think that's affected it. So he needs to rest, and he doesn't want to rest. Even this week, he had to get an MRI, sit him down for a week. You're paying Chase Edmonds, not Chase Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds, he's a running back.
Yeah, who's her?
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum. Yeah, Case Keenum.
Not even Chase.
Yeah, Chase.
It's been a long week,
but
fans.
it rhymes. Case is a serviceable quarterback. He
Very
got to
serviceable.
he got to the championship with Minnesota.
He's okay.
Yeah, it's time. Like otherwise, your whole season might be down the.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So to me, plus Jedrick Wills is out. Jack Conklin's out. Both of them. you don't want to put an injured your star injured quarterback behind this line
unless you're going to trade OBJ for Garoppolo or something like that.
Yes, or unless you want Mayfield to look bad.
Yeah.
So you either draft or trade for another quarterback.
I think this is the perfect situation that lines up with your preseason prediction with Mayfield being on the shelf. Of this might be the game where OBJ throws his 4 touchdowns.
There you
it could
go.
be actually.
That's silver lining.
I will say OBJ looked. He was the one bright spot last week.
He looked better.
Yeah. So if I'm a Browns, if
you are a Browns fan,
I'm. If you're desperate, you might be starting Dearness, like you said. I think he's going to carry the rock, and in other games when he's been given that opportunity, he's looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily think. I mean, Denver's good.
They're stout.
They're good.
It's a stout defense,
but they're not. Like offensively, they're not great. They do make some mistakes. I think this is if Cleveland were healthy, this would be a game where you're like, yes, they're definitely winning. So
it's
maybe
a low scoring game though. So I mean, short week. I would want to stay away from almost everybody in this game.
Yeah, no, I think it's very, very fair. What about for Denver?
Same.
I like Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
It's targeted.
It just depends on your roster. If he's like a guy that I'm changing in and out at the flex,
yes,
then maybe I don't love the matchup.
You mentioned though cornerbacks for the Giants. The Browns are decimated.
Yeah, they're
this
completely
is the week.
decimated.
Yeah, this is the week. I think that it's in Denver too. I believe, or no, it's in Denver at Cleveland.
I don't know where it is.
I'm pretty sure it's in Denver. So I think you're starting.
So less is thin or air. You throw the ball further down the field.
Yeah, I think you're starting Sutton. I think you're starting
Noah Fant.
Yes, I also think you might start this. Javonte Williams is another guy I can't figure out. They put Melvin Gordon out there 2/3 of the game
because he's good.
Then they put Javonte Williams out, and in 1/3 he outperforms Melvin Gordon. So that's the only thing stopping me. But I think if they were one player, that would be an awesome running back.
Well, how many things in our life could we say that about? Without ruining our life, right?
Cleveland's backfield, you could say that about if just one of those two guys got all the touches.
Cleveland's backfield, you can normally say that about both when they're both healthy. You know? So, anyways.
I'm thinking more along the lines of pizza and a burger. Like, you could say that was if they just make them one food. How good would that be?
They do. You can have a pizza burger.
They haven't done it well though.
Or a burger pie.
It's not.
Oh man, you ever have a Big Mac pizza?
No.
I tell you what's really good.
Who makes a Big Mac pizza? Is that they make that at the gas station?
No, there's this place in Wildwood that's open. It's open after all the bars close down. They make like these weird pies that drunk people want, and they make a Big Mac pie, dude. That's
is it
ridiculous.
good?
You're trying to comment on pizza?
It's really good.
Wait, is it good? 12 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
No, it's probably good when you're shit faced.
I've had it sober, and it's fantastic.
Because I had a piece of pizza once in downtown Savannah.
He also eats potato salad sandwiches. So.
Yeah. Well, and I told my wife this is the best pizza I've ever had, and we went there.
No culture.
And it was not the best.
Oh,
pizza.
you just nostalgia.
No, it was at 2 a.m. I was hammered with my 3 friends.
Delicious, yeah.
And it was delicious because it was, I was hammered. So,
I hear you.
All right.
So,
anybody else starting?
No, I'm not starting anybody. Is there any other games you guys want to mention in passing before we move on to our picks?
No, get all your studs in this week. All your typical studs have good matchups.
Hey,
this
and
week.
listen, watch your buys, man. It's so funny. Your brother, I beat him. He texts me Sunday morning. I don't got a running back to start.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, you're an idiot. Like I don't feel bad for you. It happens every year with injuries and buys. You got to stay on top of it. So
yeah, I'm always on top of it.
So let's go into our last pick, our section. We're doing picks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that.
I was waiting for that.
You were waiting for. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Not you. Now I want to know. What
I was that right there.
I hold his body. I don't know what that is referring to.
Yeah, that's why I stopped it. I just wanted to press it.
Because it can refer to so many different
There's so many whose body
topics that you've
So we are going
voluntarily brought up.
First of all, let's mention that Antone was 4-0 last week, and he is right now in second place for the season at 13-10.
Trailing who? I can't see that far.
He's evened up from his 0-4 week.
Yeah.
I need
Mark?
to do the same.
Mark was 3-1. He sits in first place at 14-9.
Oh yeah.
I was 3-1, and I sit in second place, tied.
I'm
with
in
13.
I'm in fourth place.
You are.
With
With mine.
You know, but I've been today. I'm making a change today, guys.
All right.
Okay.
I think I know the change you're going
Are
to
you?
make.
No, you know what? I've been doing a lot.
You're finally going to go against the
I've been
Giants.
trying to get too cute with the picks.
You've been picking the
Been
Giants.
trying to overthink. Yeah, I've been picking it. Fuck the Giants.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to get too cutesy with the picks, trying to overthink it. Not doing that anymore.
Can't wait to see how this turns
The
out.
only game
you
I
wait.
lost.
It's
last-
going to be 2 and 2. It's going to be the same shit.
Only game I lost last week. was
2 and 2's not
Browns.
bad. I'm treading water. Okay.
All right,
So I'm in striking distance.
Wait, the only game you lost was what?
the Browns. First game this week, Carolina versus the Giants, and the Carolina is giving 3 points. Antone chose Carolina.
I will choose Carolina as well.
Carolina it is.
All right.
It's 3 or 13 points.
And I'm going to have to choose Carolina too. Next game, Browns versus Broncos, and the Browns are giving 5.
The Browns are giving 5. Are they home?
Why?
Yes, they're home. And Antone picked the Broncos. Antone, you son of a-
I picked the Broncos too.
I picked the Broncos too. Although I do think they have an upgrade this week at quarterback, I still am going to go with the Broncos.
I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm gonna go Browns only because I feel like they've got
Because you're a fucking homer. That's why. Not only because anything.
they've got to win this game. If they want to compete, they've got to win.
This
Got to
is-
figure out a way.
This is belief, Rocky. This is belief. This is blind faith. This
Gotta
is
figure-
not.
They got to figure a way to win. So,
You
Eagles,
stupid.
Eagles versus Raiders, and the Raiders are giving 3 points. And
Are the Eagles home?
It's Eagles. I don't know. I believe the Raiders are home actually.
And the Eagles are giving 3 points?
The Raiders. Raiders
Oh,
are
the
home
I
giving
thought you said.
3.
I think you said Eagles.
Maybe I did. Antone chose the Raiders.
The Raiders. I'll take the Raiders.
I'm also going to take the Raiders. I mean, to come out and play how they played last week against Denver after all that Gruden turmoil, Philly don't stand a chance.
You just hate Philly, I think.
I do hate Philly.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
take
mean,
the
I've
Raiders.
never hit that.
I'm going to take the Raiders too. Okay, and then we got the Bears versus the Bucks, and the Bucks are given $1 billion. The Bucks are given 12 points.
Jesus.
How the hell are they giving
It's a lot of points.
disrespect?
A lot of points. Antone, surprisingly,
Where are we playing?
it is at Tampa. In fact, I will be at that game with the big-headed one, Jared King,
Oh, wow. You're not going?
paying off a bet.
Not invited?
You know what? No. He's
We invited him
He's been
several
trying to.
times.
You didn't invite me.
He's trying to
You
get me to
wanna come?
go.
Please.
How much is it?
I don't know, man.
So the
You
cheapest.
don't know you bought the tickets.
I know I had to buy good tickets because that was part of the
Oh,
bet.
well, I
Dude,
would have
ask
to
him
sit
how
with
much
you. I'm not going to
he's-
sit by myself.
Well, we could. Tara's still trying to talk me into going too. He's trying to talk me into going. Maybe going to tailgating and scalping tickets.
I got
right
a
before
nice
the game.
hotel. We're gonna
Yeah,
go.
I might do that for the Giants. I don't know.
Hey, we're gonna go the night before, Saturday night, at a
No,
nice hotel.
I'm not down with that.
Tailgate a little bit, please.
I wouldn't mind doing that. with you.
Please go.
please,
I'm not
God.
sure I want to
Don't leave me
be
alone.
with Jared King.
Please, God.
I don't want to hear about the world's
I'll pay for your ticket. That's how
the
bad
world's
it is.
sufferings all night.
I'll pay for your ticket. That's how bad it is.
Box seat.
You pay
got
for
a
the
deal.
ticket, I'll go.
Yeah. Why don't we chop up a box?
How about this?
Excuse me?
Why don't we chop up a box?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can
Wants
you
to
say
get
that?
Everybody throw in money.
For a suite. You know what you're here? Like 16,000. This guy's like doing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, I got a hotel room, 2 double beds. You and King. I'm sorry, you gotta take me because I don't want to.
I'd rather be with you than these two guys. All right, don't let it go to your head.
I bet you sleep naked though.
I don't sleep naked.
All right, so last game.
You two
Bucks-
daughters in the house.
You don't?
Oh, you sleep in the house naked with your kids?
Your bedrooms don't have a door?
It does, but my kids come in the room.
All right, so we
What do you got it
Bucks.
bolted closed so you can be naked? You're disgusting.
Bucks are giving 12. Antone went Bucks. I'm going Bucks. Anybody going Bears?
Yeah, of course.
Can I get a Bears?
Of course I am. The Bucks giving.
I'm going
That's
Bucks.
Horse shit.
The fact that you
Yeah, the thing.
there you
The
go.
fact that you
Game
think it's horse shit is
Get,
crazy.
Get cutesy. Get
the only
cutesy.
That's not
game you
fair.
lost last week was
Being
the Bears.
cutesy would be picking the Bears here.
So just saying. All right, those are our picks, and I
What are
may
you
be
talking about?
buying
The Bears.
tickets.
The Bears covered last week, didn't they?
Who'd they play last week?
Well,
Green
let's-
Bay. Oh no, they didn't. It was 10.
Yeah.
All right, shut the fuck up.
All right, so
Green Bay's better than Tampa Bay.
yeah, Green Bay. Did you see what Rodgers said?
Yeah, that was funny.
I love that.
What did he say?
He said he would never play for the Bears, but then after he scored the touchdown, when he ran
he
the
said
touchdown,
it was a Bears fan. The lady gave him double birds.
yeah,
And he yelled at her, "I still own you." Didn't see? I still own you.
I still own you.
No.
After he went on public record, he was asked by a newspaper, "What is there any team he wouldn't play for?" And he goes, "Oh, Bears, 100%."
He's a piece of shit.
He's not. He's a great quarterback.
He's a great quarterback. If he comes to the Browns, from
please,
my
Lord.
lips to heaven.
Stupid.
If he comes to the Browns next year. All right, that's it, guys.
Let the hate go, man.
I can't.
All right, well, that was fun, huh? Good week. I'm officially regretting trading Derrick Henry again, like I said, and
You should definitely.
yeah, I
regret that.
super duper regret it. I think I'm ready
all
to
of your being.
call it a season in one of our leagues and start trading off assets. It's that time of the year, man. I'll tell you what, we thank you for showing up. If you showed up, thank you for listening. Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and like and subscribe here. Hit that notification bell. Get notified when we get on. You can cruise through the show, ask questions, whatever you want to do. You say you hate us. We thank you for watching, and come again next week. Peace.